Hi, everybody. I still crack myself up because nobody's here. But I have to. Whoa, holy cow! I had to be here. It's so. Sorry, guys. I'm fixing the camera. It's just so sad. So I posted this. I'm gonna read it to you. Maybe on Instagram. So I posted this on Instagram and it's got 103,000 people, which is a lot of people. And the comments are so sad. So this is what I posted. It says, I'm saying my 14-year-old, right? I have an 11-year-old boy, not a 14-year-old daughter. I got this from another mom. And I put in quotation marks. I think it's my kid. That's a whole other thing. I'll be more clear next time. But it says, my 14-year-old takes a nap every day after school. She is exhausted from masking all day. And the school refuses to give her supports like an IEP because her grades are fine. And I said, PSA, grades are not the only reason kids need additional support. When will schools understand this? So, you know me, guys. I'm a little bit feisty. I'm a little bit loud. And first of all, some of the world thought I meant masking, like she's exhausted because she's wearing a mask all day. And I was like, oh, okay. I get why you thought that. I mean, neurodivergent masking, right? Kids who are neurodivergent and try to look neurotypical so they fit in, so they can get the work done. And then by the time they get home, they are exhausted. And it's a different exhausted. But these are some of the comments I got, guys. Makes me want to cry to think about them. It is so crazy. So here we go. Some of them, and I'm going to make this a reel, an Instagram soon, but it says, thoughts on the responses to my real conversation, my real, REEL, not REAL, conversation about masking and how hard it is for neurodivergent children. So here are some comments. Okay. I'm going to try not to get mad. I'm going to try not to cry. Because, guys, the school doesn't have to bend for the outliers. The parents of the outliers need to work this out. Let's go one at a time, guys. Neurodivergent children aren't outliers. That's like, I don't know. So I am a neurotypical behavior consultant hanging out in the neurodivergent world almost with every kid I have daily. At my house, we are all neurotypical, so I do a lot of work in the neurodivergent communities. And so I'm assuming, and I might not be right on this, but I guess people will tell me that if you have a neurodivergent brain, I think it's an insult to call you an outlier. That would be my guess. So now you're an outlier, and parents should just figure out what to do with you. And I'm like, and I don't, and just know that when I got these, some of them I commented back on, but if I had that knee-jerk reaction to be like, WTH, I want to say F, but WTH, like, really? I can't believe that you said that. Like, you need to enter my space with love, and you need to leave the rude at the door. And if you don't agree and you don't even understand neurodiversity, you need to scroll on by and do some research before you come back. So a lot of people I just blocked. I did keep their comments. And of course, I don't call them out by person, although I really wanted to, some of them. Okay, next one. If that kid has issues, keep them home. Reality check. No one is going to handhold them through life. Oh my gosh. So a kid is struggling. They need additional supports. And because they need additional supports, they have issues. That, again, feels rude to me. And what does it say? They're not going to be handhold them through life. I'm asking for supports for these kids. I'm not asking for them to have their hand held. They need their brain works different and they need some supports. I guess I don't understand. I don't know how else to say that without. Maybe you guys can help me say that so people can can really truly hear me. That so people are seeing kids who need something different as outliers, as having issues, and you know what, guys? To be honest, don't we all have issues? Are we all working on something? And sometimes when we're working on something, we can use our community to help us, right? When I'm having a hard time, I know who I can call on to help me. Right? It's the difference between stress and de-stress, like distress, I mean. So like stress is you're going to find a community, you're going to have them help you, you're going to get additional supports or additional information, and you're going to be able to come out of it in 3 weeks, right? Between stress and distress, it's a 3-week-ish sort of time limit. So distress means I keep going to school, I keep having to mask, I keep being exhausted, I can't figure out what I'm supposed to be doing differently so I like fit in, do well, and then go home and don't nap all day. And that's distress, meaning I'm going to be in it. I just keep going through the cycle and I get spit out like, oh, I figured it out. Great. And then I change grades, or my teacher goes on maternity leave, or Christmas break happens and then I go back in January and everything's a little bit different. The end of the year, the beginning of the year, the beginning of summer, the end of summer. I can't, right? So all these big transitions sometimes hurt kids. So I wish that society didn't see additional support as handholding. And I got that sort of comment often, is that what's with these kids that have issues and need handholding? Okay, let's go to the next one, guys. Let's see. LMFAO, laughing my off. Maybe, okay, maybe you should do something about it instead of expecting the school to do it. Oh my gosh, I never thought interesting. I never thought to do anything about it, right? Neurodivergent kids most of the time have neurodivergent parents who have, and I'm seeing this especially on this post, but also in the communities of like, oh yeah, I see my daughter having the same things or my son having the same things I had to deal with, and I was exhausted and it ruined me. So I want something different. And you know what the different is, guys, right now? It is homeschool. I got a lot of comments about that. Like, if your kid can't handle it in school, I know, homeschool them. Well, you know what, guys? It's sad that is the suggestion all the time. And some families have decided to homeschool them, and they're much happier, actually. But there's some. So if my son was in this situation, we can't homeschool. My work all day, every day. And my husband works all day, every day. And without one of our salaries, we would have to change our whole lifestyle, which, right, could be something we'd have to talk about. But some people cannot do it. Some people, right? What about single mothers? What about single fathers? What about people who need both incomes? What about people who just don't couldn't do it? Because we are human and we have to know what we can and can't do. I found out I would not be, I was a good teacher outside the classroom, right? Because I taught kindergarten for 10 years. I was not a good teacher inside my house. I found out in COVID, I was like, wow, what is going on? Like, I thought I was going to be much better at this. And I was really good. I consider myself a really good teacher outside in a classroom and in the school. At home, I wanted to poke my eyeballs out because you have to be mom and wife or husband and teacher. And those hats are really hard and get really confusing. Which one do I have on? My kid doesn't really know. So that is the suggestion a lot of times, is like, well, it is the parent's job to do something about it. And I get, I think a lot of people didn't realize, I think we're new and they were like trying to tell me the difference between an IEP and a 504 plan. I know the difference, guys. I'm in IEP and 504 plan meetings all the time, weekly, and I've been in hundreds of them. So I get the difference. It is that she did need help academically because she's exhausting herself to the point where academic help would help. So we have to oh, squirrels. Right, I have drunk squirrels that live in my head. So we have to figure out how to help these kids so they're successful. And we are trying. And it is not just my job. You can't separate academics and social emotional mental health. Like, yeah, teachers aren't therapists, but there are really easy things, right? Guys, find my last video on what sort of things we can do easily I say that lightly, of course, easily in our classrooms and in our schools to make them more neurodivergent. Because I keep hearing like parents are supposed to deal with that. We can get therapy outside of school. Parents can be dealing with it, but you also have to you can't. I don't know. I don't know how people see that you separate the two. I taught kindergarten. You think I just taught the kids shapes and letters and numbers and reading? No. I also had to teach them social skills and how to be with each other and self-regulation and big emotions. You think I couldn't that was not my job? It is my job. It's your job as a teacher all the way through. And I think that teachers get frustrated, and I totally get it because we're not given good information around that stuff. We're given stickers, tickets, tokens, points, clips, and candy around that stuff. We're given external reward systems. We're given fun, fast, and easy that usually ends in shame, guilt, and embarrassment. So if we're given the system that ends in shame, guilt, and embarrassment, and then we don't pay attention to mental health, that doesn't even make any sense. Because mental health is affected with PBIS, with ABA, with all these external reward behaviorism things that we do, and then we're not going to pay attention to mental health. It's ridiculous, guys. It's absolutely ridiculous. It makes me want to claw my eyeballs out. I told you I was going to be loud. Okay, next one. Kids need to buck up and deal with it. Oh, I wonder if that's what I should say in an IEP meeting next time, or a 504. Like a parent comes in, the kid's having a hard time needing support, and I just said, you know what? Buck up and deal with it. How dismissive. Okay, guys, I just can't even. We're told, kids are told to stay home. Kids are told to, and then I wonder, like, these people who say this, I know that some of them are internet trolls and they're just trying to get me fired up. I get that. There was even one called college aged internet troll or something like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're so bored that you are an internet troll and you're in college. And then I thought to myself, you, buddy, probably need additional supports. You need some learn different skills or need some needs matter something. And I was like, you're in here telling me that this stuff, you just buck up and deal with it, but you're in this space being rude and mean and awful. And I was like, oh, and I just needed to be vocal about this because we can do things. We have to. So I think what we need to start doing is give teachers new information, right? I embarrassingly did that stoplight system, and it was like 4 feet tall on my wall, guys, when I taught kindergarten. Oh, so embarrassing. And I watched the relationship between me and the kids fizzle because of that. And I thought, oh, that's why we don't do that. And you know what? At one point, I did all the things that I talk about not doing, because that is what I learned in school. That is what I learned in my education classes. I have a master's in education. That's what I learned in my master's classes. I remember doing a report on ABA. I remember doing a report and talking fondly of it. And that now in the autistic community, it's like 98% of the 97% of the people are like, it's a no. So, and I just saw one that I shared on my website, megthompson.com. Meg has 2 G's. That is, how do autistic people feel about ABA, and how do autistic relatives of the autistic people feel about ABA, because it is much different, right? I see a lot of moms that say this changed my child's world, but the child is 6 and can't really talk about it. So I wonder, like, how does it look when the 6-year-old is 25? Can they say, yeah, that was awesome, or it was a no thank you, but I had to do what I was told. So, right, we don't know the answer to those questions yet, but I've always had that in my brain. And then someone shared an article with me, and I was like, oh, I want everybody to share all the articles with me, good and bad, because I put them on my website so you can read them and check them out. I hate when they're full of jargon. A lot of ABA ones are full of jargon, and you're like, what does that even mean? So we need to give teachers this new information on neuro, right? A lot of people are like, what is neuro-affirming information, right? See my, I think it was a half hour, the one where I talk about what neuro-affirming information is. People are like, how do you get trained in it? I'm like, I don't know. I am a neuro-affirming behavior consultant. I don't think you get trained in it. Neuro-affirming information is just the information you should have now to help kids that are neurodivergent. And how do you find that? There are books, there's articles, people on social media, right? I have people on social media that I could tell you to follow. You just comment here, DM me on Instagram. My Instagram is Meg Thompson Behavior, same as here. Keep it all the same so you guys can find me everywhere. PM me on Facebook. It's Meg Thompson Behavior Consulting. So we need to do that. We need to have conversations with kids about, like, hey, I'm noticing that you look really tired, or you're falling asleep. I bet there's something I could be doing differently. I'm not really sure what it is, but I bet you could help me figure it out, right? Teachers need more help. So people are like, I have 30 kids and 5 of them are on IEPs and 3 others are challenging. I don't have time for that. And I was like, I get it. So you can hear what I have to say. And there's a part where, like, teachers are still human. So they can't do what I'm asking them to do because they're one teacher and 30 kids. And that is unfortunate. And I know that some administrators are like, yeah, it is unfortunate. We're looking for people, but no one wants to be here. No one wants to. And then that's a whole deeper issue. And that's not an issue I can fix. I can't fix our broken school system. I'm working on it, but I can only be so loud. I'm only one girl that lives in New Hampshire. We have to find more teachers, pay them more. Guys, pay them more. I just found out some salaries of teachers, and I was like, what? That is what you make? Oh, Nelly, pay them more. And we have the money to pay them more, guys. Allocate your money differently. I don't know. I just think that don't force teachers to do these ridiculous, fun, fast, and easy external reward system strategies that we're going to have a party, we're going to have a assembly, we're going to have claw machines, book vending machines, and oh God, I know about 1 million of them. They all stink. If they're red, yellow, or green, I'll twitch a little bit. And if they are, and if it's a game, right, I always call them behavior games. If there's a award at the end, a reward at the end, stickers, whatever, there's so many reasons that doesn't work out. I've done many videos on that, and you guys probably all know. Right, I've done 3 lives. I've kind of reboosted this because I was over on Instagram. I'm here. Hey guys, if you get a chance, right, it helps. Press that subscribe and like button. It helps so I can go far and wide. So I just don't, guys, I'm actually talking to 2 people, which is wee. I'm hoping someday I'm like, oh my gosh, guys, remember when I was talking to 2 people and now I'm talking to 4,000. I don't know. That'd be fun. So I would love for that to happen, right? I know that it takes a while. Instagram, like, takes a long time. Facebook, well, I think Facebook will be extinct soon, but right, Facebook takes a long time. All of it takes a long time, guys. So I'm okay talking to myself or 2 people for half an hour. But I know that things have to change. I'm going to be the loud girl, the loud sparkly girl. I have no sparkles on today, but the loud sparkly girl that will keep talking about it, guys. And I know what people say, like, oh, you try to be a teacher. Okay, so I was for 10 years. And I am in classrooms now and I see how hard it is. I'm not saying this because the teachers aren't doing what they're supposed to do. I'm saying this because the world needs to give teachers different information, give teachers more help, have a world where we're not calling kids that need additional supports outliers or buck it up or suck it up or, oh. And I don't this post, I've probably blocked like 25 people because I just don't have space in my brain for people to be mean to kids. Like that. No, I want to say rarely. I want to say never, except maybe I have and I can't think of one. Kids that wake up and think, you know what? I'm going to fall asleep in class today. I'm going to fall asleep in class today. It's going to be great. I'm going to really make my teacher mad. I'm not going to pay attention. It's going to be awesome. And I'm not going to get my work done. I'm going to make her mad again. And I'm going to fail out of school. I'm going to get out of school and in school suspension. Rarely have I had a kid do that. Because we wake up and humans want to do well. Kids do well when they can. The problem is some kids can't. So we have to give them additional support so they can. But what are those additional supports? Have conversations, support teachers. I don't know. In my area right now, my area meaning I'm in New Hampshire. A lot of people don't even know that's a state. In Massachusetts, the teachers in Newton are on strike because they're like, I don't think so. And they've been out for 2 weeks. And because they want more pay, they need more help. And they were done. They were like, we're doing it. So, and I think that's hard for the parents who need to send their kids to school or need to stay home and figure that out. But I get it. Teachers need to start speaking up, and it's hard when it's one of you. You just look like you're bonkers. It's hard when it's one parent. You look like you're bonkers. If you got a whole bunch of people, yes. And you have to be really brave. So give you some bravery, give you some woo-woo loudness, and I don't know, guys. I'm hoping that, I know, I guess I'm just so sad about this post. And I want to, it's happened to me one other time when the trolls were like out and I had to turn off comments. And I don't want to do that because I want to hear what I'm hearing these bad things, but I'm also hearing things that are very informative to me. And I want to keep hearing that, right? Adults who had this happen to them and they really wish it was a different way. And I was like, oh, so then I find them and I'm like, tell me what the different way is. What would have helped you immensely? Tell me. I'll be loud about it. I'll be right. And the thing I keep hearing is breaks, someone who understands my brain. Telling conversations with neurotypical kids and neurodivergent kids to like, how does each other's brain work? That's a big one. How do I fight for my kid? That's a big one. Like figuring out how I can do that and successfully and what words or language do I use so people listen, so they don't think I'm this mom who's not doing anything and I just have to suck it up. I don't know, guys. I probably have beaten the dead horse. But I just get so frustrated about it. Okay, so I'm going to go because it's been 25 minutes of me being angry. and feisty. I mean, I'm not usually angry. It takes a lot to get me angry. Actually, people who know me, I am usually a lighthearted, funny, sunshiny, exuberant girl. And this stuff makes me mad because we need to be helping kids, and we're not doing a very good job. Not like, I'm not saying that parents aren't or teachers aren't. Like, the world forgets that these kids need our help to get to a different place to be most successful. And we're not getting the information we need to get the information to get the kids the supports they need. So let me know, guys, what else I should be doing, what you want to hear about. My next one will probably be, let's see. I write it all down, guys, because I'm a little bit bonkers. The one, let me see. It's probably going to be about stickers, tickets, tokens, points, clips, and candy, because that's what I talk about most of the time. And they're rampant now. And I think we have to keep talking about it. We have to keep talking about that there are different ways to help kids with behavior management. I even hate those words. But okay, guys, love you. Remember to click the like. I'm going to make up a little poem or a song or something about that, and maybe dance around about clicking the subscribe and like button, because I appreciate it, and it does help. And it also makes me feel happy because I like collecting friends. So when you subscribe, I feel like I've collected a new friend, and when you like it, I feel like it's like a little virtual hug. So let's do that. Okay, love you guys. I will be back. Oh, I mean, who knows? I didn't even know what I was going to be on today, but I'll be back soon, and love you guys. Bye.